so it's time for a little drive-along video here, and of course we got to talk about the situation which is going on in Europe with the elite class and the ruling class, all desperately trying to keep peace from being achieved in the war in Ukraine. You know, now there's a negotiation between the Russian Federation and the United States government, which is positive steps in the right directions. And then you have countries like Denmark, France, the UK and Germany and elsewhere desperately trying to sabotage this peace being reached by these two powers, the only powers which have any relevancy in this war, because it is a proxy war, and without the United States government or the United States military, NATO is a paper tiger. European nations are pretty fucking irrelevant, and they are desperately trying to cling on to their relevancy by trying to prolong the suffering and death of hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians and Russians, and even some Westerners who are going to Ukraine to fight as mercenaries. They're trying to prolong the situation just to keep their relevancy on the global stage, and this is the epitome of the problem here in the West. These same people are constantly saying that we live by the rule of law, that we have democracy, and everything is so fucking great here, but it's a lie, it's fiction. Our so-called democratic countries governed by the rule of law have turned into technocratic authoritarian regimes where the ruling class, where the elites of the powers that be here are governing through authoritarianism, masked under the covers of democracy. And I would like to highlight what J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, said at his speech in Munich, while obviously he was being a complete hypocrite because things are not much better in the United States. He was, after all, right about what he was saying about European countries, and especially Denmark. We have this Mette Frederiksen, the most war hawkish person that I think has ever been in leadership in Denmark, running around on the world stage as if Denmark was some kind of great military power, and it's unbelievable that they think that this is not going to have any blowback on them eventually, because obviously you can't just keep funding the Ukrainians to attack the Russians without at some point there will be retaliation. But these people are completely oblivious to these things, and they would rather see us the conflict in Ukraine turn out to be a World War III situation than peace being found, and the European countries having to do a reset and start over and get back to the roots of true democracy and true governance by the rule of law. But obviously they're doing everything to hinder that, and I don't believe the United States actually wants European countries to do well. They want to rule over us. They want to play us against each other. But nevertheless, they are in the States. They're doing many of the right things that the West should be doing on their own. And obviously, this is not going to happen with the leadership we have here in European countries. Just take this situation with me, for example, being the protagonist in a global social engineering experiment, where they, since 2009, have, on the pretext of me being some kind of the most notorious sex criminal the world has ever seen, while in actual fact there's not even one single case ever against me for such things, and using those fake and fabricated allegations to justify this never-ending human rights violating experiment, using all kinds of highly advanced electromagnetic weapons and communication systems and emerging neurosciences, and literally using this program, turning our so-called country, democratic countries, into technocratic authoritarianism. And literally every time I go anywhere, they're using the capabilities that come with these technologies to electronically harass anybody and everybody that I get into contact with. They are constantly fabricating these virtual movie fabrications which is being broadcasted, and making me liable and responsible for something that I have absolutely no involvement in whatsoever, as two major aspects of this program, which are completely false and fabricated, all on different fabricated pretexts. For example, using the fact that they're using remote neural monitoring on me against national and international laws, and using that as a pretext to blame me for all of the communications, all of the things that they communicate or proclaim in these regards. So yeah, I don't think we can say here in Europe, or in Denmark for that matter, that we are living in true democratic countries governed by the rule of law. I think that is blatantly obvious for everybody to see by now.